What's up, everybody? As you probably know, we just got done with the beta for Modern Warfare 2. It was the second weekend, the open weekend for all platforms. Some of us are looking forward to the game coming out. Some aren't. If you want to know what side I'm on, check the link down below for my thoughts on the beta, what I think could be improved, and what I think was bad, good. Check out that link below. But in this video, I just want to go over, from what we know so far, what I think will be the Warzone 2 meta once Warzone 2 drops, and DMZ as well. And just remember, in Warzone 2, we don't get loadouts anymore. You have to buy your guns from the buy station. But we know people are still going to do it, so there's still going to be people that want a primary and secondary that is their own. It's their own custom class. It's part of what Warzone does so uniquely compared to other Battle Royales. And so, of course, there's always going to be a meta. There's always going to be loadouts that people want. And so I have a couple ideas of what I think it is based off of Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, since it is going to be the same engine. Obviously, the time to kill is a little bit different. The playstyle is a little bit different. But it is going to be on the same engine, so the gun feel should be the same, even if the damage or the recoil is slightly different, like they did do in the past with Modern Warfare guns and Warzone guns. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the loadouts that I think are possible. And as usual, you know, these loadouts, the SMGs could be paired with the ARs. It doesn't necessarily have to be these two guns together, especially since we don't know so much yet. But let's go ahead and look at these loadouts so far. First, we have the Lachman 5.56 AR paired with the Lachman sub. The Lachman sub is the MP5. It's pretty safe to put the MP5 into a meta loadout because every MP5 or every game's MP5, in Vanguard's case the MP40, have been meta at some point or another, especially if it's Cold War Modern Warfare's MP5. They were meta in the first Warzone forever. And so I'm assuming any game's MP5 is going to always be in the meta at some point, and it will always be viable because even though Modern Warfare 2019 MP5 is still somewhat viable, especially with the 10mm rounds in Warzone 1. So I just have my best guess of how I set this up. There's still a lot of attachments that I would put on here that you can unlock. I have everything except for that Lachman like battle rifle leveled up all the way. And so I would only be missing 4 or 5 attachments max, and there's plenty of attachments you can see. So I just chose one of the 4x optics, but if you scroll through the optics, they're very similar to Modern Warfare 2019, and you can see what looks to be the VOK 3.0. I'm assuming that's going to be the meta optic just like it was before, and I'm hoping that it's going to have the same reticles it had before, so we can change the reticles as well. But I'm assuming it's going to be the VOK 3.0, but just in case it's not, there's a couple options. I put the other option on my other loadout, but with this one, I just went the Schlager 4x. There's only 2 4x on here right now. There's the hybrid 4x, but hybrids have never really been meta. They're just slower ADS than the other 4x. So if it's not the VOK, it's probably going to be either one of these 4x. Same thing with the barrels. Now, this last barrel I actually could have unlocked if I had leveled up the battle rifle or the tactical rifle, whatever it is, for the Lachman all the way up. But if you look at what I have now, you have the 15.9-inch barrel. When you switch over to that Nova barrel, all the stats go down except for mobility and handling. So it might have slightly better recoil, but if the bullet velocity and the damage range is better and it's only slightly better recoil, I'd probably just rather have the better bullet velocity and damage range. Same thing with suppressors. I have the Bruin Spearhead suppressor on there for now. It does hurt damage range, but it helps recoil control, sound suppression, recoil smoothness. But once again, if you scroll through here, that looks like a monolithic suppressor to me. And I'm assuming it'll probably be monolithic is the meta once again, because it is another Modern Warfare game. And again, in the same vein, so far for the grip underbarrels we have, I have the VX Pineapple Vert grip. If you look through the other grips, you can see the Forge Tac Ripper 56 doesn't help with recoil control directly, neither does the Shark Fin 90, and neither does the Lock Grip Precision 40. It helps with whatever gun kick control is, but Pineapple Vert helps with gun kick control and hip recoil control, and its recoil control bar is a little higher. But if you look again, it looks like there's a Commando 4 grip. It looks like a lot of, and then the, what was that, the not the tag foregrip, it's the other foregrip that sometimes people use. And there's a bunch of foregrips we haven't unlocked, so we don't know for sure. But if I had to guess, once again, it's probably going to be the same as we had for Modern Warfare 2019. But that one wasn't available through leveling up the weapons. So for now, it's the Pineapple Vert Grip. And then, of course, we would use the 60-round mag. And then for our Lackman sub, aka our MP5, I built it kind of how people built the Modern Warfare MP5 when they didn't use the integral barrels. There is no integral barrel for now. I don't know if there will end up being, but I don't think there's going to be. I think these are our 3 attachments. And I went with the one that gives you hipfire accuracy as well as recoil control. I did like the bullet velocity and damage range, but I wasn't as worried. This actually hurts hipfire recoil or hip recoil control, but that's not too hard to deal with. And it's ADS and movement speed penalties. It's an SMG, so I'm not too worried about that. And the other 2 barrels don't help with hipfire accuracy, or they hurt it. And it's the MP5. You're gonna hipfire with it. That's what the Modern Warfare 1 was before, and I think that's what it'll be again. And so here's where it's a little bit different than the philosophies we had with Modern Warfare. With Modern Warfare and Cold War, we always suppressed our SMGs. We kind of got away from that with Vanguard when we had the recoil booster. So I don't know if this SA Schwal Dampfer 99 or however you pronounce that is gonna be a attachment that you want. But it does help with the sound suppression to keep you off the mini-map in Warzone. It'll help you with bullet velocity, recoil control, recoil smoothness. The Razor comp gives you more recoil control, a lot more, but it is a sub, so it's not as important. And it does hurt your ADS speed. Less so than the suppressor we have on now, but it still does. This one could be in the meta if you use a suppressor attachment, as well as this KT85, or it's not going to be the Clear Breach. It could be one of these classified ones as well. There is no monolithic looking one unless they just have a different look for SMGs. So once again, it's going to have to be kind of a wait and see for when the actual game comes out. Then we have the Lock Grip Precision 40. I have it for now because it has hipfire accuracy. We'll have to see what the other grips are, just like with the AR. It looks like there's like the Merc foregrips and stuff that we had before. It looks like a lot of foregrips from Modern Warfare 2019 are returning, so they could end up changing to one of these 2 foregrips here. The Merc, and that might have been the TAC. I'd have to refresh myself on Modern Warfare guns now that we've been using Vanguard and before that Cold War guns. And then the 50-round drum, always going to be the largest mag. And then I went with no stock here for the best movement speed in ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, especially when the sprint to fire speed's been really slow in this game. Now, if you don't use a muzzle, one of these lasers hopefully is going to be a hipfire or ADS laser, just like the TAC and the 5 milliwatt lasers. And then maybe one of these classified ammunitions would be it, but I would assume you would throw a laser on instead of the muzzle. So those are 2 possible meta weapons in Warzone. And then the other, we have the M4. The M4A1 was meta. The XM4 was meta. I don't really know if there's necessarily an M4 for Vanguard. But if there's one that's comparable, maybe the STG, that was meta. Even though I'd probably say the STG is more of a kilo, but that could be the KG. Anyways, M4s always end up in the meta. And this is where I said I put that other optic on there between the Schlager 4 times and the Forge Tech Delta 4 times. Like I said, it'll probably be the one. This might actually been it right there, that block. But it'll probably be the one right there that looks like the VOK 3 times because that's what it was in Warzone. And 4 times is usually a little bit too much. Plus you get glint, whereas the 3 times you don't have glint. The best barrel, I have all the barrels unlocked for the M4, especially because I have that Cinder. And it's looking like 20-inch barrel is the longest barrel. That's always been how the meta goes. And it helps the most with recoil control, at least according to the bar chart, which we know is never very accurate. And it helps with damage range and bullet velocity, recoil control. So that's probably going to end up being the barrel. Once again, we have the same Bruin Spearhead suppressor, but once again, when you scroll through, you can find the suppressor that looks like a monolithic suppressor. And that's probably going to be the meta, just like it was in the first Modern Warfare. And again, we have the Pineapple Vert grip because other grips are locked in the beta, but it's probably going to be this Commando foregrip looking one, just like it was for 2019 guns. And then once again, you're going to go with the 60-round mag. Pretty standard M4 build. I think the only thing that will change here is the optic and the muzzle to be the monolithic and the VOK. And then here we have the Cinder Hurricane, or the FSS Hurricane. This one I think is really interesting. Kills really fast. Its mobility feels pretty good. And I definitely think it could be within the meta. If it's not the MP5, I think it's going to be this. There is a Fennec, which we will talk about in 1 second, but if it's anything like Modern Warfare 2019, it's just not going to have enough ammo, and it'll be like solos, maybe duos, SMG, and we're looking for full meta here. Once again, I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so the Hurricane does have 50 rounds, so that puts it enough because there is no mag attachment for this because that top mag. And so here we went with the FSS X7 barrel because it's like with the integral barrels we had with the Modern Warfare 2019 MP5, where it has built-in sound suppression. You could go with the cannonade, and the only real difference with the cannonade is you get slightly better damage range and slightly better recoil, but you don't have the built-in suppression. So if you wanted suppression, you are going to lose an attachment slot. And so I think it would be the FSS X6 barrel. And then you would have, and then once again, I have the lock grip on there, but it's probably going to be, if it's anything Modern Warfare, it'll probably be one of these two foregrips here. But it could also be the Commando. It could be any one of these unlocked ones that we don't know. But if I had to guess, it's probably going to end up as the Merc or the TAC foregrip from just like Modern Warfare 2019. Once again, we can't even put a muzzle on here because of the barrel we have. So that leaves us with, I went with a laser. Here you can see the CODWZ PEQ Beam 5. It is a hipfire accuracy laser. There could be a slightly better one. There could be a TAC laser. Don't really know. There is a handful of more lasers left to be unlocked. But this is also what gives me the assumption for the Lachman SMG that we're going to have a hipfire laser in the full game. And because we have that extra attachment slot, now we have a stock and a rear grip. For the stock, I chose the Quicksilver Collapse stock. It gives you the best movement speed, ADS speed, sprint to fire speed of all the other stocks. The Demo Quicksilver also helps with that stuff. And the other three stocks don't. SMG, we're not as worried about the recoil control. Plus, it helps your hip recoil control, and we've already helped hip fire accuracy, so that's good. And then we have the Phantom Grip as my last attachment since we don't have the muzzle. It gives you better sprint to fire speed, ADS speed. There isn't a hip fire rear grip, so I didn't put one on there. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be another meta SMG. Obviously, you know, we had 3 SMGs in this beta. There's a good chance that they could all be within the meta or top tier viable. And then we have a bunch of SMGs that aren't, because there'll probably be 5 or 6 SMGs at release like there usually is in Call of Duties. And then I didn't even name this loadout because I couldn't do anything with it, so I just threw it on here. The Scar, just like with Modern Warfare 2019, is a really good AR. Oh, as you can see, we can't actually gunsmith it. We can't build it, so we don't have any idea what any of the attachments are. But as you can see, it has the Commando looking foregrip on it. And so I think the Commando grip foregrip is going to be meta. It only has a 30-round mag on it. Hopefully it has a 50 or 60-round mag, unlike Modern Warfare 2019, because this thing is a monster in multiplayer. Definitely, probably, I shouldn't say definitely, but this is probably my go-to AR in multiplayer unless something changes. The Lachman 5.56 is really good, as well as the M4 for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. But this thing's a monster. This blueprint was really good so far. And then, once again, we have the Fennec. I did mention the Fennec briefly. The Fennec doesn't even have a blueprint, so we have no attachments on it. And it kills really fast. But if it's anything Modern Warfare 2019, it's going to run out of ammo too soon. It'll be a solos and duos gun. But this could be your really good solos and duos loadout. I didn't, you know, we can't really customize these, so I didn't really get to play around with any attachments, look at any attachments. I just wanted to throw these in there because these are both really good in Modern Warfare multiplayer. The beta's over by the time you're seeing this video, so it doesn't really matter. You'll be able to build these guns, but it would not surprise me if these are 2 guns along with the Lachman group of guns that are really the multiplayer meta. But with that all being said, that's my best guess now for the upcoming meta. This doesn't only apply to Warzone 2, but this will probably apply to Warzone Mobile as well, since the guns are going to be shared between those 2 Warzone versions, and DMZ included, obviously, in Warzone 2, as well as Modern Warfare 2, and all are going to be cross-progression. So the meta will probably be the same in Verdansk on Warzone Mobile, as well as all Mazrah, and whatever small map we end up getting in Warzone 2. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Any information we get leading up to Modern Warfare 2 between now and October 28th, as well as Warzone 2 between now and November 16th, DMZ included, or Warzone Mobile, I will make sure to put a video on that, so hit that notification bell so you know when it goes up. And please don't forget to like the video. And let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Do you think I'm spot on with what might be the meta? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think it's too early to tell? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I smart? Am I dumb? As usual, let me know down below. But I will see you on Modern Warfare multiplayer the day it gets released, and Warzone 2 and DMZ the day those come out. But get frying. Have a good day. Bye.